Animal behaviorists say that some of your most ordinary daily habits are quietly causing your cat real harm. The scary part? Most of them feel completely innocent. And if you keep doing them, which almost every cat owner does without realizing, you could be slowly eroding your cat's trust, damaging their health, and making them feel unsafe in the one place they should feel most protected. Here are 6 everyday things that hurt your cat far more than you'd ever expect. 1. Raising your voice when they do something wrong. Have you ever caught your cat knocking something off a shelf and immediately called out their name in frustration? Most of us have. It feels like the natural reaction in the moment. But here's what's actually happening inside your cat's brain when your voice gets loud. Cats don't connect cause and effect the way we do. A 2021 study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that cats who were regularly shouted at showed significantly elevated levels of chronic stress, and were far more likely to develop behavioral issues like hiding, aggression, and litter box problems. They don't walk away thinking, "I shouldn't do that again." They walk away thinking, "That person is unpredictable. That person isn't safe." And that's the part that's genuinely hard to sit with. Because you weren't trying to hurt them. You were just reacting. But your cat has no way of understanding your intention. All they register is the volume, the sharpness of the tone, and the energy behind it. Over time, that doesn't shape better behavior. It quietly pulls apart the bond between you. Think about it this way. If someone randomly raised their voice at you every time you walked into a particular room, how long before you stopped wanting to go there? That's the calculation your cat is making. And if that one was uncomfortable to hear, the last point on this list will hit even harder. Because it's something almost every owner does out of pure love, and it may be causing the most damage of all. 2. Never giving them anything to chase. When was the last time your cat genuinely chased something? Not watched a fly from across the room. Actually chased, pounced, and caught. For most indoor cats, the answer is days. Sometimes weeks. And we don't worry about it because they seem fine on the surface. But they're not fine. Cats are built predators. Their entire neurological system is organized around a specific sequence: stalk, chase, pounce, catch. When that cycle never gets triggered, things start breaking down quietly on the inside. A study in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found that cats without regular play stimulation showed higher rates of obesity, aggression, excessive grooming, and symptoms that closely resemble depression. That cat who sleeps all day and seems low maintenance? There's a real chance they haven't given up on energy. They've given up on trying. The fix is genuinely simple. 10 to 15 minutes a day of interactive play, a wand toy, something that moves the way real prey does, can completely change your cat's mood, energy levels, and their relationship with you. You'll start seeing a version of your cat you didn't know existed. And before we move on, if this is making you rethink some things, hit like and subscribe. It helps more cat owners find this before it's too late. 3. Feeding them nothing but dry food. What if the meal you've been giving your cat every single day is quietly dehydrating them from the inside? It sounds like an overstatement. It isn't. Cats are desert-origin animals. Their ancestors survived by getting nearly all their hydration from the prey they caught, not from drinking water separately. Which means your cat's natural drive to seek out a water bowl is genuinely low. They're simply not built to compensate through drinking. So when their entire diet is dry kibble, which contains roughly 10% moisture, they're living in a state of ongoing low-level dehydration that most owners never notice until the damage is already done. A study from the Journal of the American Veterinary Medical Association found that cats eating dry-only diets had substantially lower total water intake than cats eating wet food, even when fresh water was sitting right beside them. Over years, that chronic dehydration places serious strain on the kidneys and urinary tract. It's a leading contributor to kidney disease, which remains the #1 cause of death in older cats. And the frustrating part is how preventable it is. You don't have to eliminate dry food entirely. Even adding wet food a few times a week gives their kidneys meaningful relief. One small change, and you're genuinely extending the length and quality of their life. 4. Touching them in places that overwhelm them. Has your cat ever bitten you mid-pet, seemingly out of nowhere, and left you completely confused about what just happened? You probably hit the wrong spot. Most owners pet their cats the same way they'd pet a dog. Long strokes down the back, belly rubs, contact near the tail. And with dogs, that approach works beautifully. But cats are wired completely differently. Their skin is densely packed with nerve endings that shift from pleasurable to overwhelmed in a matter of seconds. It's called petting-induced overstimulation, and it's one of the most misunderstood dynamics in cat behavior. Research from the University of Lincoln found that cats showed the lowest stress responses when touched around the cheeks, the base of the ears, and under the chin. But when contact shifted to the belly or the base of the tail, stress hormones spiked almost immediately. So that moment your cat rolls over and shows you their stomach? That's not an invitation. That's an act of trust. And when you go in for the belly rub, you're unintentionally betraying the exact thing they just offered you. That's why some cats seem so unpredictable. One moment they're beside you, the next they're gone. They weren't being inconsistent. You accidentally crossed a sensory line they couldn't warn you about in time. The fix is straightforward. Stay near the head and cheeks. Keep your touch slow and gentle. Let them press into you rather than you pressing into them. And the moment their tail starts flicking or their ears begin to shift, stop. That's them saying, "I love being here, but I've reached my limit." Respect that, and watch how much longer they choose to stay. 5. Hiding the litter box where it feels safe to you. Where is your cat's litter box right now? Tucked in a basement corner? Wedged behind the washing machine? Pushed into a closet with the door barely cracked? If so, you may be creating stress for your cat every single time they need to use it. We hide litter boxes because we don't want to see or smell them. That's completely understandable from a human perspective. But from your cat's perspective, you've placed their bathroom in one of the most threatening spots in the house. Cats are simultaneously predators and prey animals. Every time they use the litter box, they're in one of their most physically vulnerable positions. Their instincts demand that they can see what's approaching and have a clear way out if needed. A box jammed into a dark, enclosed corner with a single exit goes against every survival signal their body is sending. Research in applied animal behavior science identified litter box placement and accessibility as major factors connected to elimination problems in cats. If your cat has been going outside the box, there's a genuine possibility it isn't a behavior issue at all. It's a location issue. They're not being defiant. They're uncomfortable and scared. One more mistake worth mentioning. One box for one cat isn't enough. Behaviorists recommend the N+1 rule, one box per cat, plus one additional. 2 cats means 3 boxes, placed in separate areas of the home. It reduces territorial pressure and gives every cat a place they feel they can safely use. 6. Believing your cat is fine when you're gone. There's a widely held belief that cats are fundamentally independent. That they don't really notice when you leave. That unlike dogs, they're simply not wired for that kind of attachment. It's one of the most damaging myths in pet ownership, and it's affecting millions of cats in silence. A 2020 study published in Current Biology found that cats form genuine attachment bonds with their owners that closely mirror the bonds seen in dogs and even human infants with their caregivers. When researchers separated cats from their owners and then reunited them, the cats displayed clear signs of either secure or anxious attachment, depending on the nature of their relationship. This isn't interpretation. It's measurable, documented science. So when you leave for 10 or 12 hours and come home to a cat who seems perfectly calm, they may not be calm at all. Cats who experience extended isolation can develop anxiety, depression, changes in appetite, excessive grooming, and litter box problems. But they suffer quietly. They don't bark. They don't destroy things. They withdraw. And that silence fools us into thinking everything is fine. Your cat notices when you're gone. They feel your absence more than they will ever visibly show you. You don't need to rearrange your entire life around this. But small things carry real weight. Leave something to engage them before you head out. Rotate their toys so something always feels new. Set up a window perch where they can watch the world outside. And when you walk back through the door, don't just pass them on your way to the kitchen. Sit down. Be still. Give them 5 minutes of genuine presence. Because to your cat, you aren't just the person who lives there. You are their entire world. And all they want, all they've ever wanted, is to know that you're coming back.